entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go. Welcome into a Tuesday for BVB, boys and girls. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. Sports Good Replay. Good evening, Night Owls. We are live on Twitter, live on YouTube, our own YouTube. Go search at Boston versus the Book for YouTube live chat. Thank you guys for being here, and welcome to the coldest morning I can remember.
Yes.
In my 6 years of living here in Las Vegas, Dave.
Yes.
What is going on outside right now here?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's cold. I can't get in the chat. I'm trying, boys. There we go. All right, we're good to go. New house. Don't know where all the light switches are. Don't know what works what. So we're good.
27 degrees.
Is that what it was earlier? When I went outside, it was 31. I thought, oh my God, I was vastly underdressed.
27 degrees
27.
this morning. I mean, it was as cold as, it was funny because
Man.
I get my cars dropped off on, different days. Today, a new car's getting dropped off. The gas station that they go to for the car wash wasn't open because it was too cold to run the car wash. Like, that's how cold we're talking about. Even hot water can't exist right now in Las Vegas when it comes to washing cars.
I went to see the tennis pro. I had to ask him something in person only.
Oh, okay.
This is a guy I worked with for, I don't know, 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And our paths had crossed previously down in the Caribbean doing some stuff. And he's here in Vegas. He's giving tennis lessons. So I went to see him, and he had a 9 o'clock lesson. You should have seen people coming in shorts. Like they must normally just come to their morning outdoor tennis lesson here in shorts. So they got in a car and drove here, and then I was like, what are you people doing? People were wearing shorts.
It's impressive. The kids at the bus stop, I don't know what it is about kids here, but like the teenagers here, I think they want to try to like show their mettle or something, but they're all wearing shorts. It doesn't matter how cold it is. They're all wearing shorts.
I think I wore shorts my entire life in Pittsburgh. Like there was, you wear a sweatshirt.
Wow.
And then when it got to winter, it was, you had to wear pants, but like I would prefer to wear shorts. Now that I'm old, there's no chance. And I would wear shorts every day here if I could. It is cold. 27. I don't care where you're at. And if you're here watching the show, put where you're at and your current temperature in the chat, because 27 is low.
Yeah, it's like the Dan Patrick version when Dan Patrick used to say your name, your height, and your weight. Now we're saying your name and your location and your temperature.
Pittsburgh, PA, 227.
What your temperature is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cold here. It's one of those mornings that you're like, where did Vegas go? Because this is not what we're used to here in town.
See, we got a lot of people from Canada that watch the show.
They think 27's balmy. They're in love.
They're yelling at me. They're like, it ain't that cold. I'm like, it is cold when you're not used to that. And then don't forget, it's going to be 115 in 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was 35 last night, and I went for a walk I walked around. So like, it's not that cold. I get it. I mean, we've been in colder temperatures. It's just not fun. It's just not what we're used to. Like we're used to having, in February, the pools open up here in 3 weeks. So like last week of February is when the pools open here in Vegas and the pool parties will start. So we're a long way from that. We're 27 degrees. I mean, it snowed in Henderson. We were on the air yesterday talking about it, but it snowed in Henderson a significant amount. I was driving around Vegas yesterday, coming home from UNLV from my class. I thought I was living in Salt Lake City because in Salt Lake City, the lower level mountains are covered in snow. Like we're used to having like Mount Charleston, which is the highest. It's like Mount Doom here in town, but like it's the highest. That always is this time of the year has snow on it. But all the lower level mountains around the strip, all are covered in snow.
Right.
All of Henderson is covered in snow. Not typical.
No, not
atypical. Different type of morning for sure. All right, let's welcome in my home state. We do a show called The Bostonian versus the Book. Massachusetts this morning became the 33rd state legal in America to gamble on sports. This is in person only. Yes, 3 places this morning were up and A lot of people, including Johnny Damon,
Yep.
Western Mass, grabbed hold of Ray Bork. They came in.
Yep.
This is what I can't figure out. There's 120 kiosks lined up, right?
Yes.
How is this a line? What is this a line for? I grabbed this picture for a second. Look at all the kiosks that are right there. How many kiosks did they open? Did they make everybody bet at the window first today? And because the kiosks weren't operational?
Oh, I don't know. I have to ask.
I mean, I was like,
I don't know.
Looking at this picture going, what are we in line for, guys? Like there's 120 kiosks at Wynn Encore Boston right now.
Yeah, they probably did, at least at first, to do it at the counter, just for the photo op and all that other stuff. And then, listen, there's a lot of hiccups that come with it too when you open them. Maybe all the kiosks weren't ready. Maybe they weren't active. Problem a lot of times too, if you've ever been to the track or you've been to a book with a kiosk and you don't know how to find a bet and work the kiosk, it requires a person to help you. If there's nobody there to help you, you don't turn the kiosk on.
Fair. It's kind of like checking out of paying for parking here in Vegas sometimes at the parking garages.
Got to have somebody there.
People can't figure it out.
How about the self-checkout at the grocery store?
Well, that you absolutely have to have somebody there because that's how the kids buy alcohol.
Oh.
You go over and slide over, you grab the bottle, get that flashing light coming up, you got to get the fake out.
Man,
yeah,
oh, man.
Absolutely. I watch that all the time going, oh yeah, I see what you guys are doing. I get it. It makes, it's easier than a liquor store.
I want to shout out my friend Adam, who's a Canadian guy, odds maker, prominent book. He does some good work. He's watching the show.
Burns?
Might be, yeah.
Oh,
I think so. Yeah.
Hi. What's going on?
Watching. Yeah.
Very nice.
He said we're wusses because he's in a
right.
cold place. He's right. I mean, there's a lot of snow up there.
There's no debating it.
There's snow here, but it's
we
cold.
choose to live here for a reason.
Yeah, I don't want that snow.
We want to be wusses.
Right.
We choose to be wusses.
Yeah.
It's by our selection to calm down and be wusses. What do you make of this? Back to Mass real quick. This is going to be an interesting couple of months in Massachusetts because obviously they're live for the Super Bowl and numerous dignitaries were coming in. They were betting on, the first bet at WinBet was by a guy from Tewksbury who took the Chiefs. Bad upbringing by that guy. And have a conversation with my Merrimack Valley people.
Why?
Dude, betting the Chiefs is your first bet because do something else. Bet the Bruins to win the cup and the Celtics to win it all. Don't be the first bet at WinBet in history on the Chiefs. It's bad mojo. Not a fan. Not a fan of the first ever bet at WinBet. Should have been something else, but that's fine. I think he won a contest. I don't know. Maybe he was a higher up. I don't know the guy's name, but he's from Tewksbury. Said Bill from Tewksbury. Got a chance to pick the first bet.
What did you want him to bet?
Just told you what I thought that he should bet. Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, Patriots, something else.
Somebody did that at one of the other books.
Yeah.
They bet the first bet was the Celtics to win the NBA championship.
Like it.
That was what you're supposed to bet.
Bruins winning it all is the better bet, but okay. That's fine.
Relax, Francis.
Wait, well, hold on. Which bet is more likely to cash? The Bruins to win the cup or the Celtics to win the championship?
Today,
come on,
Bruins win the cup.
100%. There's not even a question in my mind.
Bruins win the cup.
Celtics have a much harder path than the Bruins do to win the cup.
Do they?
Yes. Celtics have to get over all history and yes. Bruins have
got to beat a couple good hockey teams just to get out of the division.
They do, but they will. I'm confident in that they will. Will they win it all? I don't know. We'll see who comes out of the West, but be very surprised if Boston doesn't come out of the East, given the way they play, given their lines in depth.
I watch the chat and then I see we can't hear you and all this stuff, and then the audio's cutting out and this and that. I guess we're good now. But guys, if that happens, we're relying on you to tell us. So
that's the audio. That's never happened before.
I don't know. They said it was dicey and it was this and it was that. So I don't know.
See, do me a favor, chat too. When we're doing this, ask somebody else. Just say, hey, is anybody else having this problem?
Right.
Because a lot of times people project it like it's everyone's problem.
Right.
And it's a localized problem.
Right.
It's their audio. It's not our audio. It's their audio.
Speaking of localized problem, I'm going to try to do this every day. We got to shout out Irv Gotti and Timmy Baseball, two of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
Irv's a big guy. Timmy's taking care of him, making sure that he stays in line. He says they enjoy the show every day. We help shape their plays, but we give them some laughs and we keep it real. So I said, well, we might put that shit on a T-shirt too. Thank you.
Not bad. So you sent this, and I had already read this thread. Really interesting about the state of New York right now, and I want to get into this because New York
Did
is
you
holding
read that thread.
Yep, read the whole. I read it before you sent it, but I mean, because I'll get your take on it in a second, but let me set it up. So New York today is having a hearing about a variety of different things about. There's a lot of eyebrows being raised right now in New York about what's going on. So let's do a three-prong conversation. The first is that they are seriously having conversations right now about the tax rate. That the tax rate at 51% may not be possible. Secondly, they are down.
It never was, but go ahead.
Okay. They're now down 20% from open. Okay. Betting wise. We're seeing it down. Handles down 20% in the state of New York.
Yes.
And there is serious conversations going on about the advertisements and what exactly you're going to be allowed to advertise in New York. This got the heads of FanDuel and DraftKings to be in person for this hearing.
Well, they had to go talk
to, I think, try to figure out where does New York go, because New York is the flagship. They just spent all of this money to be licensed in New York, and things might not be going all that well right now in New York. So let's start with the first one here. Yeah. Is 51% going to last?
If they start leaving, if books start leaving, no, it won't last. But it ain't like you're going to drop it to 10.
Okay.
Like some other states, they're not. So, I mean, I've told you guys this for since we started doing a show. I've been saying it for 2 decades. It's a 5 to 10% margin business at best. I mean, unless you have all same game parlays and you have no straight bets, and then it can be a 20%. But that's wishful thinking. It's not sustainable because people run out of money. You can't keep just doing parlays forever and maintain a business. You have to take bets. I think
it's interesting. Handle in New York has declined 20% since the first 3 months of launch.
Wonder why.
So that means they got the pop for 90 days.
And they gave everybody free money.
And now we're down 20%.
Because they're not using the free money. Yes.
It's that if you're Massachusetts and Ohio.
Yes.
What do you take away from that stat?
What did we do? Wait a second.
What lesson can you learn?
Where's the money? You guys told us the money. You said all these people were going to come and bet on all the sports. What? Hold on. You said they would stop betting offshore. You said that the credit thing wouldn't be a problem. Wait, you said, what? We're going to make all this money on the taxes. Oh, wait. You guys you're not going to be accountable for the money you give to people? That's not part of the handle tax? Wait a second. So if you do all the promotions, you give them all the money to bet, and then they bet, but you don't make no money because you could cross them out, then we don't get no tax money.
So the other interesting point about the tax number and kind of what you're talking about in terms of the dollars and credit and the offshores. So Jason Robbins, who is the CEO.
Oh, no, you froze. Don't freeze. Mr. Freeze, look at that face. Oh, my gosh. Okay, you're back. Whew.
Sorry.
I thought you were gone.
Jason Robbins, CEO of DraftKings, said this in this hearing, that DraftKings may be forced to offer worst betting odds, reduced promotional credits, and will not be able to enter into marketing sponsorships with any of the New York teams. All this leads to worst product and customers crossing state borders to seek better value elsewhere. Well, let's take that bit by bit here. By offering worse betting odds, does anybody in that committee care about that?
Nope.
I mean, you're speaking to deaf ears. Nobody. So you're going to offer minus 115. No one cares about that in a hearing. They do what you want, man. We don't run your book. You do whatever you want. So that falls on deaf ears.
Good start.
Reduce promotional credits. I think most people in that room would probably say, yes, stop offering the promotional credits are part of the problem. That's why handle's down 20%.
Okay.
And then the third would be will not be able to enter into the marketing sponsorship deals with New York sports teams. Again, nobody in that room cares. Like it's not their
That
problem.
was a missile. That was a missile out to anyone paying any attention that is getting money from the teams.
Interesting. Okay. Same
That's
Mets,
what
Mets,
zing,
Yankees.
hey,
Yeah.
those
Giants.
bullshit deals that we made with you, we gave you all that money to put our name on the wall. We want that money back because that ain't helping you and it ain't helping us.
Interesting. Fair point. I agree. That sounds that gets a lot of logic in that saying, hey, if you're the Yankees, you're the Mets, you got baseball season coming up. We just might rip the deal up and say, hey, we're not going to do it.
We
anymore.
gave you all this money last year, and then one of them tweets, this guy Linehan, we should get him on the show. He's doing God's work.
Yep.
Reporting these things, and he does it so good on the Twitter. We should give it. Can you read his Twitter handle? I want to give it.
It's RLINNEHAN, R Linehan XL.
Okay. I've never met him, but I've started following him because he's doing
great.
Really good work, like really good work. I don't want to say this is a precursor of things to come, but every book has their own agenda. Like there's not like a gambling industry. Everybody's, same page. And the big books with all the money, all the marketing money, are going to try to get it done this way. The rest of the minnows are fighting for those scraps. When the people start watching now and the legislators start asking these questions and having these hearings going, I can't watch a game anymore without 8 million ads for the gambling. And it's annoying me. If it's annoying me, it's annoying my constituents. In fact, they keep calling my office saying, can you make it stop?
So FanDuel said a reduced tax rate to something similar to Pennsylvania will not make New York FanDuel's most profitable state. New York would still be FanDuel's least profitable state, but it would allow the operator to begin investing in the New York market again. So like, hey, you drop this down, we'll spend money in your state if you guys give us a break.
See, and you don't even have to take Rosetta Stone to figure out what he was saying there. See, that's good. That's because that's what he said right there.
Yeah, and then DraftKings said if DraftKings is maximizing its net revenue, if motivated to do that, that maximizes tax revenue for New York. So it's basically
how do you get from point A to point B to point C like that? Do that. Say that one again. Let me.
He's saying that if DraftKings is maximizing its net revenue, meaning profit, if it gets motivated to do so by a reduction in the tax rate,
lower the tax rate,
that maximizes tax revenue for New York.
Okay. Right. So you lower the tax revenue, you're going to make more money. Don't worry about us. We're just in the middle.
But he then said DraftKings has a quote plan B. In case the tax rate is not reduced. Robbins again says the operator may have to turn to again saying worse odds on bets for customers, reduce or even having non-existent promotions, and cutting sponsorships with state teams and organizations. Robbins saying DraftKings willingly entered New York and its 51% tax rate chose to invest in a way it knew was unsustainable and unprofitable with the knowledge that its strategy for the state would have to change if the tax rate wasn't altered. Like he literally just said out loud, we came into your state knowing we couldn't make any money, but we did it anyway. and you want the state to say, what? You want us to go back on the deal we made together? You agreed to pay 51%. We passed the law. You said yes, you paid it, and now we have to change it because you're asking?
Well, it sounds like in that last sentence or two that it said, or Jason said that we came in and we agreed to this based on the fact that we knew it wasn't going to work. and you guys were going to change it. Like if you read them last two sentences, the part that I heard without the words saying it was that we knew this was a bad deal, but
Right.
you knew it was a bad deal, and
We all did it.
you told us you were going to change it.
Well, did somebody under the table say we'll change it after the fact? Because Robin said the New York market was too big, too much potential to miss out on, even with the 51% tax rate.
Oh,
DraftKings decided to enter the market and invest in an unsustainable way with the hope that something changed down the line with the tax rate. I mean, if I'm a lawmaker, I don't really care. Like, I'm just like, guys, look it. We passed a law. You agreed to pay the tax rate. Why are we here? Like, what are we doing? We're a year in here, guys. Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Like, you guys said yes. We said yes. You paid the rec. You paid the rate. We set the bar. You paid it. What are we doing? You don't want to be here? Okay. I would hold their feet to the fire if I was someone from a state, if I was elected to a state office on this. I would say, then pull out. Let's see what happens.
Go.
We're in New York. What are you going to do? You're going to leave New York? Go ahead. It's the same thing that DFS, the same companies, DraftKings, FanDuel, tried to do with DFS. New York was just like, look it, we'll do what we want to do. We're in New York. You need us more than we need you.
Well, does it get to that point, Perrault? Does it get to that point?
I think cooler heads probably
made decisions to not go to New York when they asked people that were in the business. I mean, people asked me, I said, you got to be out of your mind to go open a book and pay 51% of tax.
Right. Yeah.
You can't do enough handle. What are you going to miss out? You're going to miss out. Miss out on what? Right. We're going to lose money.
Miss out on the branding? Okay, I guess, but that's about it. Not money. I mean, do you know what Spectrum Gaming is?
Spectrum Gaming. Maybe.
I don't know what Spectrum. So the vice president of Spectrum Gaming, David Isaacson, also spoke at this hearing.
What did he say?
He said a lower tax rate typically results in increased handle. Additional promo spend from operators leads to increased handle. Haven't we spent the better part of this year telling people that the increased promotional spend does not increase handle?
They're not listening to what the people were saying.
I mean, we're just saying that it's crazy. Like, it's being said out loud by people under oath to state lawmakers, and nobody's asking the question of, can you prove that statement? Because promotional money is funny money, right? You just make it up. The increased handle in real money is what you're saying, that real dollars goes up when promotional money goes up as well. Can you back that up? Can any state back that up? Because nobody breaks it down. No one takes promotional money and actual money and reports it as separate. And until somebody does that, I can't buy. I mean, look, this guy at Spectrum Gaming may be 100% right. I may be way wrong, but we've never seen documentation so far since the legalization and the pulling down of PAPSA, where promotional money and actual dollars bet are separated and reported differently by the books to the states.
You want to change something, forget about changing the tax rate. Change that.
I would agree.
Change that and then look at it and go, wait a second. Why is this number? Hold on here. This don't add up. It won't take long. It won't take long. When you just give people the money, it's not real money.
Like, to say handle goes up based upon promotional spends is like me walking over and saying, like, I'm going to give Dave $1 million in Monopoly money, and Dave has $1 million. No, he doesn't. He has $1 million in Monopoly money. It's not real. It's not real money. But hey, my handle's $1 million. No, it's not. It's zero.
I'm going to put that money through the window. So now I can say the book has $1 million in handle because you gave it to me and we're putting it through the window.
But you can't pull it back out.
No.
You can't If I give you the promotional money, it's not real money. Wait. No, you can't withdraw that money. No. It's not that
we got to do it like rollovers and all that other stuff. And then once you try to do that, then maybe you got to bet more, and then you got to have a required period of time. There's all kind of stipulations. I just got this summary from Bernsey. Increased promotional spend is only brand awareness. It's basically a budget to give away to brand awareness.
Agreed. I think that's totally fine. If somebody says that makes
way of describing what it is.
But they don't say that though. They say it's increased in handle.
Well,
They say it's more money. You give more money to the people. That means there's more money for handle, but that money's not real. Well, it is in the world of sports books. Wait a minute. Can I tax it? Well, depending on how it's written and the way that it goes, it might not because it's an expense. So it's a marketing expense. So
right.
technically it can't be taxed because that's marketing. That's not actually money being spent. That's a marketing deal.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing? Like, this is, I know this is in the weeds, guys, but like this is stuff that like we have to talk about because nobody else is talking about this stuff. And this is New York. This is the biggest state. And everyone pointed to New York about it going legal and how it's going to change the game. And it did. But now a year later, everyone's wringing their hands going, oh no, we can't operate here anymore. And if you guys don't change this, we're going to have to make some pretty big choices. And again, if I'm New York, I say, okay, make some pretty big choices, guys. Let's see what happens.
Might be better for competition. If you
Well,
stay and figure it out, you're
right.
forced. The other thing is like the books can't cry. You knew, like nobody changed nothing on the legislator side. We told you they were smart. They got the money up front. They said, we're taxing you at 51%. You want to book games here? 51%. You can't go, oh, we didn't know, or wow, that's not fair. You made a decision. You paid a licensing fee and you got a license. Now you're going, well, we can't really make it. We're going to have to leave. We're going to have to take all of our promotional money. We're not going to sponsor the teams. Who's threatening who here? Like, I don't understand. The leverage is all in the states, right? It's in their favor.
I mean, they were asked about their employment numbers, saying how many people do you actually employ here in the States?
Oh, God.
So FanDuel employs 3,500 in New York. DraftKings has 150. Talking about less than 4,000 employees in the largest populated state on the East Coast, with the number one media market in the country. They got big handle, or they have big marketing budgets, but like in terms of like who they actually employ, I mean, it's 4,000 people. It's a good number, but it's nothing compared to what other companies are doing in the state. They're going to have a tough fight here if New York wants to dig in.
They're going to have a tough fight. I don't think
if they want.
Pennsylvania, I believe, is 35 or 38%.
Mm-hmm.
If they're getting 51, why are they going to go to that? Like, I don't know, like that, but that would be the lowest, I would say. And again, I'm not a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I have no
But it makes
idea.
sense. Neighboring states and like
They just say, because there's a lot of people that live on that border,
right? Mm-hmm.
That'll just go over to Pennsylvania and play.
Mm-hmm.
Probably already are. They have been.
Well, also that's the thing too, right? The New York, New Jersey crossover happens a ton. And the markets are different. That was another thing that got brought up in this conversation, that there are certain markets available, like MVP betting, that are available in New Jersey that are not available in New York. So that causes people to leave the state as well. But they were asked if that was made legal, would that help you? And the answer was, if it's at a 51% tax rate, then no, it's not going to help us. So everything is about the tax rate. Everything is about whether or not they're going to knock down. I don't know. I don't think New York is really going to be incentivized to knock it down.
I don't think so either.
And they got the money. We talked about this from the beginning. They got the big fee up front. All the other stuff afterwards was, they got the money. They got what right up front. Pay me right now what I need up front. And now everything else happens afterwards. That's okay. We're good.
Well, and I mean, on their, and they told people they were going to raise all this money in taxes and then build roads and build schools and all this other stuff from the gambling money. That ain't there. So, I mean, everybody's got to be held accountable. Nobody's telling the truth. I mean, at some point, somebody got to tell the truth. Well, now a year later, they're looking at it going, where's the money? Where's the fucking money? Like, that's what they're saying. Tyler came in and said something too. No one in Tennessee can meet the 10% minimum hold threshold either. They just pay the fine and go. In Tennessee, you have to make 10%.
You have to?
Yes, to have a book, you have to hold 10%. If you don't, you get fined. They go, fuck it. We'll hold 6 or 7% and we'll pay the fine. That's the other thing that the books have done so far in this whole process as they go. They're not going to do it in mass. Mass is going to hold them accountable. I give them credit what they're doing in Massachusetts. That gaming commission is going to hold people accountable. But the answer, when they violate these things, they did too many ads, $150,000 fine. They write the check out of the petty cash.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what they
happened in
can do.
Ohio too. Ohio was the same thing. Yeah,
Right.
they've been writing the fines like it's they're cool with it.
Yeah. And Tyler said the state lottery commission in Tennessee asked the books why they're having trouble. It's hard to hold 10%. It's hard. If you don't have the handle, you don't have the parlays, you only have so much business. It's hard to hold 10%. You know, don't ask Vegas guys, though. We get accused of being biased and we don't know what we're doing and we're too old. That's antiquated. You know, it's only been 50 years and the hold's the same pretty much as it's been. When you take straight bets, a lot of straight bets, big straight bets, your whole percentage is down. You don't rely. The parlay business is the icing on the cake. It's not the cake. You have to take bets. 11 to
But
10
for
book is
them,
all.
But for them, the newer books, it's at some point people are gonna ask the right question as to how the books are basing their numbers and their revenue projections and the way that they're taking bets in all these new states. And look, this country, this has been such an interesting look at the way that each state approaches business and
Yes.
laws and regulation and who do they trust? Who do they believe? Do they play fast and loose? Are they more conservative? Not talking about the red and white, red and blue conservative, but conservative with money. Do they buy what someone's selling? When a person stands up there and says, "Here's what we're going to do," do they take it as face value or do they ask the right questions? Kansas, you could told those guys anything you wanted to. They were like, "Okay, sure, whatever. We believe everything. Here,
give me the cigars and the booze, and we're
whatever
good.
you want." Kansas didn't ask any questions.
Let's go. Come
Massachusetts is doing a proctology exam for these people who are going to be the license holder and the key license holders and the people who are representing the books publicly in the state. They want to know everything about you. What did you do? When did you do it? How did you do it?
I've told people this for years too. Lowering the prices is a race to the bottom at any business.
Mhm.
You have to have some sort of margin. So what do you sell? Because the line on the Super Bowl is 2. If it ain't 2, it's 1.5. And if it ain't 1.5, it's 1. Okay. So that's the only 3. There's nobody that got a 3, and there's nobody that got a pick. Okay. So you can only change the price so much. Now you got minus 110 versus minus 108, minus 114 or whatever. For the regular person, that doesn't mean shit.
They don't care.
They do not care. Now, over the course of time, they will if it's big enough margin. But if you're betting $10 a game and it's minus 110 versus minus 112, you don't even know the difference. You don't. So the changing of the prices, it's a really hard thing. You have to provide a good experience. You have to make sure it works. I still think, and the guy that was down in Curacao with me that was absolutely crazy, we called him Lucky Larry. He said, and he only lasted 3 months down there because he had some other problems. But one of the things he said was, we're getting customers for life all the time. If you approach any business like that, let alone this business, you will win, but not a 51% tax rate in New York.
Well, one more story before we move to games. California has put out a projection. Now, remember, there were 2 bills with California. One was in person, one was mobile.
Right.
California has put out this projection, those who are in favor of Prop 27, that they're missing out on $2 million in taxes from just the Super Bowl alone if they had a 10% tax rate on this for Prop 27. Does that seem high or low to you? They would have made $2 million in taxes
if they had
legalized sports betting under the Prop 27 10% tax rate.
For the Super Bowl?
For the Super Bowl alone. The Californians would have bet
based on what numbers? Like you literally just hold on.
I know. Yeah.
Let me grab. Oh, wait, I got that one. Hold on. Wait. It's coming over here. Oh, wait, I got that one. And then we
So,
just
okay,
catch
so
the
according
numbers
to
and throw 'em in.
Play California projections, California could have bet more on the Super Bowl this year than bettors in any other state. The Golden State sports bettors could have wagered $276.8 million on the game.
$276 million.
Yes.
What do we
So
do in handle here? We do 150 to 175 million in handle just in Nevada. We're going to be able to bet in the whole state.
of California. Yep. With the number 2 and 3 media markets.
I think that's a little light. I'll just,
It feels light to me.
we got 2 million people. Now, a lot of people come here, but we've got 2.5 million or 3 million people that live in Nevada. Is that
Mhm.
about the population?
3.1, I think. Yeah.
Is it up to 3.1? Okay,
Yeah.
so three, let's just say 3 million people.
Mhm.
They got 5 times that in California, right? Is it
No.
15 million?
California, no, it's like 39.
39 million, 10 times. 10 times our population and only double the handle? Just do the math.
39.2 million people in California.
Okay, so that's 11, 12,
It's a lot. It's a lot more than here.
13 more times than us.
Yeah.
And only double the handle? Like, just get the numbers right.
Yeah, I don't think that's
If you're going to pull them out of anywhere, just project them out right.
Well, they say because what they're assuming is that an average hold would have given the books a profit north of $20 million, taxed at 10%, would have given them $2 million.
All sounds very nice in theory. I don't buy it. Is this someone that we know? Is this a friend of ours that wrote
No.
this article? Okay, I don't.
No,
wanna
this
bash
is
anybody.
just Play California. This is Steven Schultz. I don't know who Steven Schultz is, but
I don't know Schultz either. But
it's an odd number.
come on,
You
what am I
know,
talking about here?
it's a strange projection. That's all I have to say about that. Because, yeah,
Strange.
so Nevada
That's
last
one
year,
word.
so
Interesting.
Nevada's we are projecting $176.2 million this year in handle.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me California's going to do 100 million more, that's it?
That's all.
That doesn't make any sense.
They might do that more in Los Angeles and the
LA
Orange
County. Yeah, just LA County, right? Just one county might do that more than what we're doing with that. That number seems extraordinarily light to me. So
Yes,
$2 million seems low. If they're trying to convince Californians to legalize Prop 27 and have legalized sports betting with a mobile option with 10% tax rate, you're going low. You're shooting low.
They don't care.
Oh, Play California cares. This whole website.
Well, Play California does,
This
but the
website cares,
people
yes.
of California, I'm telling you, it's so low on their priority list. They spent all that money to make sure it didn't happen with that Prop 27 and
On the other
Prop
side.
26.
Well, yeah. I mean, there were 2 fights going on. I don't know. I can't say that no one cares. I would say that I know people in San Francisco because my brother lives in Oakland, and I've talked to friends of his, and they're in their mid-20s. They care because in order to sports bet legally, they got to go to Reno. And they go to Reno a lot. They go over there to ski, and they go over there just to go to the books over there, but
Right.
go to the casinos. But it's an hour plus drive for them, to get into the state of Nevada to be able to gamble. And then Reno's a little bit farther after that. And they would want it legalized in California. They would want to be able to most of them bet offshore.
You just said the quiet part out
Yeah.
loud. Who don't want it legal in California?
Well, the offshores don't want it legal in
There's
California.
a lot of people that don't
Yeah.
want it legal in California.
Of course. Yes, that's true. But I mean, I think most people, generally speaking, most people would prefer to bet with a legal book. If they had the option, they would prefer it. These are kids who aren't
Until
betting.
they do it, and then they're like, I'm going back to my guy.
That's very possible. Yep. Because of credit and because of numbers and
A lot of
rates.
things,
And yes,
yeah.
got a lot of things. I totally understand with that. But I think generally people would rather bet legally than illegally just because.
Maybe.
It's one less thing to cross off the list. You don't got to worry about it. You're not doing anything wrong. It's all on the up and up. So
Right.
that I think people would want, and people in Oakland or in San Francisco might be more inclined to say yes, that they want it. But I don't think California, I think Texas goes legal before California.
I've told you this off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Florida, California is my order
I think that's fair.
of the big 3 left. Joe C. Myers just came in and said he's glad we're talking about this. Joe C. Myers, sir, thank you for
In
your
Texas, right?
service. Yeah, Joe C's down in Texas, but he's in the live chat. because he listens usually later when he's training people and doing all this stuff. But he has a really good comment. I set the playing speed on my YouTube to 1.25 to try to get caught up.
That's what I do.
Yep. And Matt is sounding even more hyper than usual.
I do. At 1.25, me talking fast as is, and then you expedite my rate of speech. Yes, Mickey Mouse and Alvin and the Chipmunks, kind of a combination of the two, is what I would say, is what I would sound like. All right, you might need to put the listening glasses on for this next topic.
Oh, I love when you tell me to put them on before.
I've been betting now for a while. I've been betting this daily podcast thing for a while, taking a couple days off. I got an announcement. Favorite thing about today. I'll talk about what's going on later.
Yes.
Last night was up there.
Wait a second. Is this the part where you say Chicago State was a good pick? Is this the part where you say that?
I will give you that. Yes, I didn't bet it, but I know the Brigade did. So tip of the cap to you.
Right.
Chicago State was a good bet.
Tell them, Brigade. Okay, go ahead.
Buzzer beater on this. Did you see what happened in the hockey game last night?
I saw the score. I didn't see it live.
It's 1-0 going into the third period.
Cruising, baby. We were cruising.
I'm on under 6.
Easy. How could that lose? Worst that happen is 2-2. We go to overtime. Come on.
I stopped watching.
It's done.
I stopped watching. Oh, I'm good. Just we went on, did other things, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
5 fucking goals.
5.
In the third period on teams that don't score.
Oh.
They don't score.
Oh.
I actually had to go and do a double take. Go, wait a minute. How did I push that bet? That bet that's a cash. How did that not come in? I felt lucky to actually have cashed. 5 goals in the third period is an all-timer for me. 5.
I'll tell you my version of that story, but I was gonna say, had they gone over, I would have called Stanford Steve and said, immediately go on bad beats.
Bad beats.
I would have immediately put. That's one of the worst of all time. Okay. I was lucky we pushed. We got to push.
And then the nightcap was even worse.
Oh boy,
the nightcap was even worse. Iowa State is up by 23 points.
23.
17 at halftime.
Yes.
Against Texas Tech.
Yes.
I think Iowa State, somebody unplugged the basketball players for Iowa State because they weren't playing basketball.
Well,
I watched this game going, I don't think these guys have ever seen a press before in their lives. I mean, I know TJ Otzelberger personally. Our kids have played together. I love TJ. What the fuck, TJ?
Whoa.
Like, what is going on, man? Like, what is that? That is that is not like that was one of the worst losses in college basketball I have ever seen. I've been watching college basketball since I was 15 years old. I've never seen a team not be able. The freshman point guard for Iowa State was literally throwing the ball to Texas Tech. He was trying to beat the press. He was jumping up and throwing the ball to Texas Tech over and over. And I think they had 13 turnovers in the second half. Iowa State had.
Chest pass, 2 hands, follow through with the thumbs. Go ahead.
I mean, they couldn't get the ball over half court. I felt like I was watching Pee Wee basketball. Like, this is unbelievable. This is JV type stuff when they play the freshmen varsity. The freshmen play the varsity, and they can't do jack. They were up by 23 points. They forgot how to play the game. Game goes to overtime. Immediate bet on Texas Tech for me to get myself out of the Iowa State bet. It was minus 160.
Why does that always happen?
Because you can't blow a 23-point lead on the road and win. It's impossible. You're not going to win that game. It was the easiest bet of the night. Automatic Texas Tech fire. So I didn't lose any money. I was flat, but that's how I bet. That's how I use in-game. I use in-game to get me out of bets that I know we're going to lose.
Right.
And once that game went to overtime, I had Iowa State minus 1.5. I needed a bucket victory for Iowa State. They had a shot at the buzzer to win the game, and they missed it. Second that went to overtime, I was like, went on the Discord channel, bet Texas Tech. Bam. Get out of this bet. There's no way Iowa State's winning this game. It is not happening. I mean, that is a melt on melt on melt. Up by 23 points, and you get blasted in the second half, and you do it on your own. You do it to yourself. Not that you couldn't miss shots or you couldn't play defense. You couldn't hang on to the basketball.
No.
Turnover after turnover after turnover. On the ball. Wild. Texas Tech covered. They finished as a favorite, Dave. They closed the night as a 1-point favorite.
They closed as 2.5-point favorite, sir.
And they still covered.
They covered every number.
I mean, that is one of the most insane. If you were on the over 6 goals
Yeah.
and Texas Tech last night, because I saw somebody who was
Yeah.
tip of the cap. Actually, no, it was Chicago State and
Chicago
Texas
State
Tech.
won on a buzzer. They were going to cover that game anyway, but they won on a buzzer outright.
I saw someone on that on Twitter. I was like, Chicago State and Texas Tech. That's a crazy 2 bet.
Chicago State was winning the whole game and then blew it with 4 minutes to go. And I'm like, man, they're not going to cover. And then they held on and won. That was good. I went to sleep after the shows. I was on with Gabe and we had a whole cast of characters on. And then I was on with Dubsy Ranieri. And I was like, yeah, the game's going under. The hockey game's going under. It's going under. It's going under. It's going under. It's under. Under. Finished the shows, went to sleep. It was 1-0. Woke up before the sun got up, and I was like, hold on. Does that say what?
4-2.
What the hell happened? I had to go back and look. I'm like, it was 1-0 after 2. Wow.
It was 3-2 when I turned it back. When I checked my score app, it was 3-2 with 8 minutes to play.
An empty netter too, right?
I knew I was dead. I was like, empty net goal, 4-2 final. I was like, that's it. I was like, I honestly couldn't believe.
Yeah, that was
like, how did 4 goals get scored in the meantime? In the time between I shut it off after the end of the second period to 8 minutes to go in the third, they scored 4 goals.
Right. Yeah. So, and
how
again,
is that
like you said,
actually
the teams-
possible?
Yeah, for Winnipeg who don't do that. So they did that.
Oh,
But the Iowa State one, like Butta Hall just came in and said he had Texas Tech. So what a swing! You're dead.
insane.
You're
dead. You should have been dead.
You're done. It's over. Wrap. Just move on to the next bet.
I was tweeting, I can't believe the books made Iowa State a 1.5 point favorite. They're up by 19 points with 10 to play.
You're the jinx. That's it.
I don't believe in that crap. You know
believe
this.
it, but now you just
took
a big L right there.
I took an L. Well, I mean, not really. I punted out of it, but L on the bet or the pick, not the bet, because I bet Texas Tech.
Right.
But
you got out. Okay, yeah. But I mean, that's good. Like that's what the in game's for. That's a perfect example.
Well, that's how I use in game. I don't. You use it more
right.
aggressively. You use it for offense. I use it for defense. I just try to get myself out of bad bets. When I can see this, I'm like, there's no way they're winning in overtime. The second the game went to overtime, I mean, Circa had it at -160. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm betting it.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm laying it. Get me the unit back. I'm laying the 1.6 to get the unit back. There's no way. The only thing that could have burned me would if Iowa State had won by 1, I could have middled myself. I could have middled myself. It was possible. But I didn't care because I was like, there's no way Iowa State is winning this game in overtime. It's just not happening. Like you can't. I mean, they're college kids. College kids cannot in overtime blowing a 23-point lead. No way. Not the freshman point guard they've got, which I'm really surprised TJ's playing a freshman point guard as much as he is. And that's a team. Watch that team in the Big 12 on the road and in the Big 12 tournament, because if they get pressure, they can't handle it. I would just press them. Iowa State. I'd press them the whole game. Go to, Nolan Richardson, 40 minutes of hell. I would press Iowa State every minute because they can't take care of the basketball.
Jesse Photo had Iowa State money line and Texas Tech team total or plus 10.5 for the game.
Oh,
ooh,
Iowa State money line he had?
Iowa State money line.
Bummer. Well, he won one of the two.
That's a nice middle. You got a 10-point middle and the game falls like that, man.
And it goes to overtime too.
You
got a chance.
Man,
you're in overtime.
You can bring it up, but man,
you know the plus 10's cashing. So you got one side, and now you need Iowa State to win the game, and you hit both bets.
Joe C wants to know: does that qualify as a donkey kick to the nuts on both?
100% double shot. Both targets hit. That is a bad feeling. I was just walking around, and Madeline was just looking at me going like, you all right? I was like, I just don't understand this. Like, I'm so upset right now. I cannot figure this out. How did I go 0-1-1 on the night officially, technically 1-1-1? Like, how did this happen? I mean, I didn't lose any money last night, but I was still furious. Still absolutely beside myself. I didn't lose any money, and I was just completely pissed off because that should not have happened. I should not have been. I should have cashed 2 tickets. I should have been a 2-0 night.
Jeez.
Luka, last night, chirping at the Pistons assistant. Maybe you don't want to piss this dude off,
but maybe the Pistons assistant should worry about coaching.
True, I agree.
Like, because did you hear what he said after the game?
No.
Lucas said after the game, that the coach was chirping at me, so I had to chirp back.
Yeah.
And the chirp was, "You just worry about playing basketball." Like, that's what he's doing.
He
If you're
scored
gonna
50.
chirp as a coach, come with some good stuff. You should
Well,
just worry about playing basketball. I'm one of the best 3 fucking players in the league. What more do you want? Sit down.
and he went for 53 on you in the result of it. Maybe not chirping at that guy. You don't want to talk to that
I
guy.
got a big issue with the coaches chirping at the other team's players. If you're a coach,
Agreed.
talk to your own players. Used to get into this on the field at the softball stuff.
Oh,
I'd have coaches like start to chirp at my players, and then I always complimented other players. If a kid made a diving catch on the other team
hmm,
and I was running off the field, I'd fist bump him. I mean, like, you're playing the game. That's awesome. I would
right.
never chirp at a kid, but I've seen bad coaches chirp at a kid, and it leads to problems. We were in
Yeah.
neighborhoods where I thought it was going to be a real problem.
Ooh,
In the professional ranks, there's how many people on the bench? Like, some teams
a
have
lot.
10 assistant coaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop talking.
So Luka goes for 53. It's his 5th career 50-point game. It ties him second most all time with players before their 24th birthday. LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain. Rick Barry is the only one with more with 7. It's a pretty good company right there for Luka to be with.
He's a bad dude, man.
LeBron, Wilt, and Rick Barry are the 3 names that Luka now is with.
They got to get
Luka,
him some help.
amen. Trade deadline or
Doing?
something. Like, come on, Mark. Get this dude some help. I mean, I guess they thought Porzingis was going to be that guy, and it didn't work out.
It's fine,
He-
and they had help last year when they got to the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yep.
And they let everybody leave. I don't know. You got to get
He's
him
so
help.
good. He's so good.
He's
Luka's
so
so
good.
much. He's so fun to watch. LeBron is playing at the Mecca tonight.
Hold on. Did the Sixers make the rundown?
No.
I'll just jump in right now because Jimmy Jack, we participate with the chat. The chat participates with us. All we
Yes.
ask of you to do right now is hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
I was going to
to
save you. I was going to save you. I wasn't trying to embarrass you.
No, it's
You
fine.
gu-
They
you
blew the
guaranteed
game.
it. You guaranteed it.
How could they fucking lose?
You guaranteed.
Such
You
a
said the
bad
Sixers
loss.
aren't losing. I didn't want to
I
bring it up.
believe me, we talk about the good, we talk about the bad. The Chicago State call, I knew when they were going to win. They got
That was a good call. Yep.
But the Sixers money
Sixers was
line
not.
takes you out, cleans you
Uh-huh.
out. How did they lose that game? I'm so hyped
Because
up.
the
They played a
Magic
great weekend.
are
They won't
a
go
bet
away.
on team.
They won't
Magic.
go away. That team won't. They're down. I think they were down 20 something. The in game for that while I was on with Gabe, because we had who was on at the time? I think it was Joe Matt. I can't remember.
Okay.
It was 23.5. I'm like, now's the time to take Orlando. And then I started watching that number come down and down and down. And I was like, oh no. And then
Orlando
they
money
melted in
line
the
would have been
fourth
nice.
quarter.
What was Orlando at plus 23.5? What's the Magic money line? Plus 800?
If you see these things, what they're doing now, they're making the minus like you got to lay 100 to 1 and you're getting back like 18 to 1. Like they've completely gone overboard
Wow.
with the in-game money lines. Like they're going to put a enormous minus, but they shorten the plus.
So
The
you can't
gap
win as
has
much.
gotten like the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
It's
That stinks.
it's if you know the numbers and you actually, watch it all the time, you see what they're doing now. Like
Yeah,
everybody's
they're limiting
tightening
their
up.
risk and exposure so they can't get burned when the Magic come back from a 23-point deficit.
They're telling you not to bet it is what they're
Yeah.
doing. Like that's just, you're like, wait a second. I mean, Tyler just came by and said that Iowa State was 99% to cover when they were up 23. 99%. Well, what's the take back on the 1%? It should be 50 to 1, right? At least it's
Yep.
12 or 18. Just not right.
Yeah, the Magic last night, I was like, oh boy, that was something. But OKC didn't cover. The Warriors won again and covered on the road. That's a team to watch out for. We talked about them last night.
Coming.
Warriors they're winning and covering on the road again. So all
Coming.
those, they're now 7 road wins and they're playing much better. LeBron is playing at MSG tonight. This is one of those nights where LeBron, he always talks about playing in New York and playing in front of Knick fans and playing in the Mecca. Knicks are favored, however.
It's coming down. It's 1.5 now.
Yep.
I don't. You want the Lakers? You can have them.
I don't
It's
want
probably
Knicks
the
or
side.
Lakers. I would never bet this game. This is
You
the
won't?
no. I'm not
I,
betting NBA basketball until I absolutely have to, and that's when the NHL All-Star break comes in.
it's
And that's
coming.
starting
You got
on
2 more
Thursday.
days. Yeah, you got 2 more
Thursday,
days of
Friday,
hockey.
Saturday,
That's it.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And then that's where I'll bet the
Enjoy
NBA.
that. You'll be done betting basketball by Saturday. NBA.
I'm done now.
You're going to be aggravated.
I didn't bet today. I've got 3 bets in hockey and nothing in basketball, college or pro. Basketball betting is so hard. It's such a crazy, inconsistent, nothing to numbers don't matter. Like, okay, fine. Bet the Thunder, bet the Magic. Okay. Those 2 teams are worth betting on with the points or laying points. ATS,
Right.
bet those teams. Other than that, I don't know what else you do. Games that should go over, go way under. Games that should go under, go way over.
Numbers are getting better in the totals. And last month, the numbers were just wrong. They weren't high enough. Now, I mean, on the regular, we're in the mid 240s.
230s, 235, 238,
Oh,
240,
the
241.
lows are in the 230s. I mean, but Miami, Cleveland tonight's 210.5. That's the anomaly. Every other game is 230 or higher.
Right.
But the ones where you go, oh, I'll just bet over 238, and they're going way over. Now they're coming with 244s, 245s, giving you at least a pause where the game's going under. Bernsey just said he's books don't force people to bet. People have to click it. So he laughs when people complain about lines. Not that I'm complaining about lines, but just keep it fair, Bernsey. It's bullshit.
No, I think it is worth pointing out that if something should be, I mean, I've seen it betting money line happens in football a lot, but in the NBA, like you're talking about, the books don't want to, they're limiting their liability on a crazy comeback. So they're making you pay.
No,
heavy,
I mean, it's
heavy.
just automated. You can set that at whatever percentage you want. Like it's a click of a button. So I just think it's more fair. And again, then you have to shop lines and see who's not doing that. One book maybe 7.5%, one book maybe 6.5%, one book maybe. I mean, I used to keep mine below 4 when I was doing the in game to try to keep the prices tight because all I wanted was volume. All I wanted was volume. And I had carte blanche to go, look, we handled $10,000 tonight on this game and we made $600. The guy was good with it. He just wanted handle. So other books will get more aggressive and say they will take 5,000, but they want to make a dime.
Right.
And that's, so it's a different thought process.
So we go to the NHL and we'll start with the big news in the league, which I don't know if I wasn't betting as much as I am in hockey, I'm not sure this would have registered with me, but when this came across the bottom line, I literally had to do a double take. I was like, wait, what? So Vancouver traded Bo Horvat last night to the Islanders.
Yes, they did. Yes.
But the reports are out of Vancouver that they did not talk to anyone else except the Islanders.
Oh.
That they just took the first offer they got, which is really weird. Now, they fired the head coach. They've installed Rick Tocchet. This is their best player offensively. And he's going to the Islanders, who are in desperate need of offense.
Yep.
You got a two-way player, a guy who's been a 30 to 35 goal a year scorer to come in. I mean, he's a top 6 center. I mean, he's got 31 goals, 8th in the league right now, 54 points on the year. This is a huge deal. So according to a team that spoke publicly or just spoke to a reporter for ESPN saying, like, we were trying to get, our offer was better than the offer that the Islanders gave. And yet the Canucks weren't interested. It feels like the Canucks wanted him out of the conference and out of the time zone.
Yes.
Put him on the East Coast so our fans don't have to watch this guy as to what he might be able to do.
Bye-bye. It's very possible. I mean, listen, they're cleaning house.
They really are.
That was a very unceremonious way to let Bruce Boudreau go, who's, one of the guys in hockey who's, I think, respected,
fans loved him.
liked, and I mean, like
the fans were doing the Bruce, there it is, the entire time.
Yeah,
this guy's getting iced, and they're wondering, like, okay, can we save him? The fans didn't want him fired, which is like the
No.
complete opposite. I thought I was in the twilight zone. I was like, what is this? This team stinks, and they don't want their coach fired. And yet the ownership does, and management does.
Right.
That was bizarre. And now they traded away their best player.
Gabe lives in Vancouver, and I asked him specifically, I'm like, what do you think about this? He's like, they're getting rid of everybody. Like, and they're not so much worried about it was, I guess, more the picks than anything that they got in that.
First round pick they got. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess that's why they made
Additional
a deal.
first round pick in this year's draft.
Yeah. So I don't know. He was the number one target to go.
Yeah, because he was an unrestricted. He's going to be a unrestricted free
Unrestricted
agent at the end of the
free
year,
agent, and he
he's
can
gonna
help
wind
a
up.
team immediately score goals.
Hell yeah.
But that locker room is broken. That whole team is broken. There's some nasty stuff going on in there.
All right. Well, how about this? We found out that Cole Caulfield decided to just say, fuck it to the whole year. I'm done. Give me surgery. He said he looked at the Montreal Canadiens schedule. He looked at where they were, and he went, yeah, cut me open. I'm done. I'm good. I don't want to play anymore. I mean, I get it. He's young. He's talented.
Yeah.
But this is not something you hear publicly most often from a kid like this, to be like, I looked at our prospects of making the playoffs and we suck. This is Montreal saying, yeah, go ahead. Let's do long-term. Let's fix it long-term. I'm out.
Play hurt for nothing or get it done. I mean,
or get it done in the
somebody has to
offseason.
make the decision. If he didn't say it out loud, would it have made a difference?
No, I just think this is like, I equate the Montreal Canadiens, the LA Lakers, and the New York Knicks.
Wait, say these three teams: Montreal Canadiens, LA Lakers, and who?
New York Knicks, or or the New York
gotta
Yankees.
have success. The Knicks ain't
Fine,
had
Yankees,
no
fine,
success.
Yankees.
That's not fair. Okay,
Right.
better.
Yankees, Lakers,
Better.
Montreal, right? It's just like they're a fan base that often lives in the past, but they're psychotic in a lot of ways.
Crazy.
And when their team sucks, they have no idea what to do with it.
Would you put Nebraska football in there?
Sure. Yeah. But they didn't have the same level of success. Nebraska's got 2 championships.
They were pretty good though for a long
in the 70s. Yeah. I mean, but it's all Tom Osborne. It was one little run for Nebraska. And,
It wouldn't be a BVB if we didn't have you just.
I mean, I would never put
someone
Nebraska.
in the middle.
I would not put Nebraska football in the same breath as the New York Yankees. Sorry, I can't.
All right, that's good.
I can't put that. That's not a fair comparison at all. That's Empire State Building and then like a coffee shop.
I know you were going to go with the Yankees. I actually put this one over here for rotation.
There you go. I'm just saying, like that's. I mean, they're all delusional fan bases. They all are, living in the past constantly, and they live vicariously through their team and through psychotic ways. And the Lakers have won something recently, but the Yankees and the Canadiens haven't. And so, but they're still thinking that they will. Just unlike a Canadian player to say that publicly, that like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the surgery and I'll see you guys next year.
Right.
Okay. So that takes us to the question. What's a better fate in the second half of the year in the NHL? Vancouver or Montreal? Who ends up with the worst record? Vancouver or Montreal?
The kid coming out to be drafted is like
unbelievable.
The next one.
Yep,
Bedard
they say he
is. He's the next one.
Canadian national team.
The whole deal.
Yeah,
the whole deal. He's supposed to be the one. I don't know. Maybe they'll go all out to do it. I think the bigger fade, just without looking at the schedule, for me would be Vancouver. But you know the way these things are. You like to make these like things that we could just count on for the next month or 2 months.
No, it's ways to. I mean, Montreal right now has 44 points. They're 20, 26, and 4. Okay. Yeah. Vancouver is 20, 26, and 3. They have 43 points.
Yep.
They're both pretty much level right now. As we head towards the All-Star break, they both have a similar number of points. Vancouver just traded away their best player. Cole Caulfield, arguably the best player on the Canadiens, just decided to say, I want surgery. I don't want to play anymore.
Right.
Both locker rooms can't exactly be good places to play right now and be happy-go-lucky and let's go, guys. Let's go win.
What if they told Cole to say that?
Yes, very possible.
So then
But it's also a pretty big
it looks,
indictment of where the team is.
of course.
So, because
Burns
there
has
was
just said
hope that, like,
everybody in Montreal is done with the Canadians. They don't like that.
no,
They don't.
no. What do you mean? Not double. They live vicariously through them. They
No,
never done with them.
in Montreal it's not like that. I mean, even Gabe says that about Vancouver fans. They're tired of the organization. I think the
Wow.
organization has a bad PR problem in both places when you listen to
Yikes.
the immediate like fan bases in guys that live there. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, fuck them. I hope they lose every game. That's where they're at with a lot of these people. Like what they just did to
Wow.
Vancouver to Boudreaux.
Right. It's going to be hard to get to the worst record. The Blackhawks in Columbus have 33
Oh,
and
I think the
34 points.
Blackhawks got it on lock. That's the one.
They're going down because Anaheim's got 37. So right now, the race for number one, Columbus has the worst record with 33 points.
Okay.
Blackhawks have 34 points.
Okay.
And the Ducks have 37 points.
This kid ain't going to the Ducks. He's going to a hockey market somehow. Patrick Ewing type thing.
Gary Bettman's going to make sure of it. Is Columbus a hockey market?
Oh,
Would be my question.
We might as well take out the whole Midwest there.
No, is Columbus a hockey market? I'm asking you. Is it?
I personally don't think so. But again, those people might think so.
Because you
just came in and said Nebraska fans think that they're better than the Yankees.
Yeah, but that's fine. But Iowa fans too have their own delusional case of, Iowa fans ripping Nebraska fans to me just makes me funny because it's like I always turn around and go, wait a minute, you can't throw rocks from this type of glass house that you guys live in. You have 8-4 Ference and you suck it up and deal with it and you accept it forever. At least Nebraska fans are trying to win a championship still. Iowa fans don't even try to win a championship. They just accept it. Give me a bowl trip to Arizona and I'm good. That's what they are. I mean, the most complacent fan base ever. They just they just accept mediocrity. Like on every, when it comes to football, they accept mediocrity. So when Nebraska football fans get ripped on by Iowa football fans, I tend to side with Nebraska fans going, hold on a second. What the fuck have you won ever? Like, what are you talking about? Why are you ever talking? Like, just sit there where you are and be quiet. Like,
here we go.
When you bring this up, you open up this big, huge can of worms so everyone can look in your closet, and your closet is full of broken skeletons who've won shit in their lives. So stop it. Like, just stop doing this. Insight Bowl. Like, how many Insight Bowl trophies do you want to have in your case, Iowa? Congratulations. That's good. I mean, you play for it all. You play to win it all. You can rip on Nebraska fans all you want, but at least I'd rather live in the past with a fucking title than live in the past with nothing.
I like titles. Titles are good. You're right. Yeah.
If I'm living title shots, though. I'd rather go with my 1990s Tommy Frazier memory or my Johnny the Jet Rogers in the game of the century against Oklahoma rivalry than what?
Right.
Like, what are we comparing this to?
Rose Bowl victory?
A Citrus Bowl victory over Florida? Yeah. Ooh, like that gets me all excited. Like, come on, man. Like, no.
Joe C even just came in now. I mean, we might as well get everybody while we're here talking about this. Nebraska is one of those fan bases who always think they're way better than they really are.
That's 100% true.
Notre Dame is another one.
I don't know. They've played in the playoffs. It's hard.
You can't let Notre Dame off the hook.
I can because they've played in the playoffs. They've been good recently. They've been way better than Iowa and Nebraska have recently.
They always think they're better than they are, though,
and they always get a bounce. And the media gives them a pass, and the media gives them bounces. Always, I'll give you that for sure. But at least Notre Dame's had something to talk about. They've had good teams. They've had very good teams recently.
They've had good teams recently that did not have good results when they had to play other good teams. But every year, people come in and bet them over their season wins, and they go back to. When I was in college, it was all Rick Meyer, Notre Dame, this, that, whatever, nonstop bullshit over and over and over. Joe C's right. He's absolutely
I don't know.
Right.
I would not put Notre Dame in the same category as Iowa and Nebraska.
Although I like this guy coaching the Notre Dame team now. I wouldn't mind seeing them get good again, just to lose at the end. It's always fun when they get there because they never win. They never win. That's fine.
Get to they never win.
When did they win a national championship?
1988 was the last one.
What grade were you in 1988?
Hey, listen, Mr. Penn State fan, you got to be careful here. You sound like an Iowa fan here. You're gonna call out Penn State for a second. Go, what has Penn State won?
It's been a while.
So, like, what are you doing? You want to
been a
call it Notre
while.
Dame for 88? How old were you when Penn State won a national championship? So, yeah.
82 and 86. I was 12 and 15, 12 and
Okay. So
15,
in 88, I was
11 and
11.
15. Yeah,
And
I
I
was
was
11
11
and
in
15.
88. So it's been a while for you guys since Penn State won a national championship.
Can't get in because they won't let us pass Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah, of course. It's all, yeah,
Ah,
of
it's
course. Penn
bullshit in the
State
Big
can't get
Ten.
in. Oh, no. Win all your games and you're in. You can't do that, though.
Find a way to
You
keep
haven't
us
done
out.
that.
Find a way to keep us out. It's
Okay,
bullshit.
sure they would. Win all your games. That's the answer. And you haven't
better
been
be
able to do
careful
that.
what you ask for, man. Pennsylvania's rolling right now. The Phillies in the World Series. Eagles in a Super Bowl. God forbid
Eagles
that Penn
better win.
State makes it to the playoff.
Eagles better win. That's all I got to say. Eagles better win. Or the entire state's going to be called Buffalo.
Ugh.
It's great to get there.
What's
Congratulations.
going to be
You
the
get
worst? What's going to be the worst on Monday after the Super Bowl? The Philly fans winning or the Chiefs fans winning? What's worse?
there. For me, Chief fans winning.
Oh my,
100%. I'm all in on Philly. I told you. I'm wearing the green hat for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm wearing as much green. I got to go buy more Eagles gear.
Oh,
I'm hopping straight. Philly and Boston have a very kindred relationship, so I'm very comfortable pulling for Philadelphia.
yeah.
Both on opposite ends of New York. We both hate the people in between, the middle. We're good. I-95 corridor brothers. They've sucked. We've sucked. We got good. They got good.
Right.
We win, though. Difference is we win. So we get there and we win. They get there and lose, but that's what happens. Red Sox are 4-0, by the way, since 2004 in the World Series.
Next on a rundown.
We
Keep it
haven't
moving.
we haven't lost one yet. This FYI. Ottawa's laying 200 at Montreal tonight. The total is 6.5. We're going to start the fate of the Canadians tonight.
I didn't even look at this game. What are you getting involved in this game for?
I didn't say I'm getting involved in this game. There's 3 games to talk about. We were talking about Montreal and their collapse, and they're playing tonight. So,
it's
actually, I am involved in this game. Sorry, I am involved. I'm taking the puck.
Thought so. I read the rundown.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
am
I'm
involved in this
asking
game.
you what you're
Sorry.
involved in this game.
I have my bets written down here. So yeah, I am involved.
I don't want to side in this. Do you want to side?
Yeah, puck line, Ottawa.
Oh, you're crazy. No way.
No, I'm not. They won 5.
After
They
this
won 5-2.
Won't they play him tough tonight?
Why? No, Ottawa comes up and smack
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Nah.
Somebody steps up, is taking his place. It wants to be there.
Maybe.
Oh,
or they
man.
play the way they've been playing, which is like caca, like you would say.
Yeah. Who's in the chat? Oh, boy.
Bad.
The other guy's in the chat now. These guys are all coming. We got to figure out something. All these people watching the show from all parts of the world. I got you, Deuces.
Montreal has lost 4 of 5 and 3 of 4 on the puck line. 5-0 loss to the Senators on the road in their last game. This is one of those weird home and homes that the NHL does from time to time.
I don't like this.
I don't either.
Same city.
Nope, different city.
Oh, they just alternate. Oh, it's home and home. Oh, those are fine.
Home.
It's when they stay. I don't like the ones where they stay.
Yeah. So at Ottawa, they lost 5-0, and now they're at home.
And now Ottawa's a $2 favorite. You got to be out of your mind. No way. No way. Give me the puck and a half. No way.
That's expensive. 3-2 win, 5-0 win. So far, the 2 games between these 2 teams. Montreal is 11-13-1 straight up at home. Ottawa is 9-12-2 on the road. But before you go, wait, what are you doing? They've won 3 games in a row, 5-0, 6-2, and 2-1. 5-0 over Montreal. They beat the Maple Leafs 6-2 2 games ago on the road in their last road game. This is one of those things for me. It's near the All-Star break, so teams start to look at their Cancun vacations and their plans, and bad teams can get hot and get some confidence because they haven't tasted victory.
Why are they going to Cancun?
Anywhere. I mean, they're going on vacation. They're going to the warm places. They're getting out of where they are for the All-Star break, and they can't wait to get there. And just have to get through the game. But a team that has not won much starts to feel that tinge of victory, and they go, "Oh, we like that," and they get hot right before the All-Star break.
Oh God, this chat just makes me laugh. You guys do such a good job with this. I mean, it's just funny. Global baby, Bostonian versus the Midwest.
Let's go,
Mr. Worldwide. Someone Photoshop Dave's face on Pitbull. That would be just amazing.
No.
All of it is great. Yeah.
Kings at Hurricanes minus 205
Under.
for Carolina. Total is 6. So like the under
Under.
in this game. No,
Under.
I don't know.
I'm under.
Maybe.
I like under.
Maybe.
I mean, we knew immediately yesterday was under, and then somehow we got 5 goals in the third period.
Third
It was a
period.
dead ass under. Now we're going to do it again.
16-5-2 Carolina at home. Kings are 14-9-4 on the road.
Hard game. Last game for both teams.
Carolina
Hurricanes plays Buffalo tomorrow.
Just FYI, the Hurricanes are 3-2 to the over the last 5 games. 5-2, 5-2, 3-2, 5-4, and 4-1. They've won all of them. They've won 7 in a row, I believe.
Right.
They've been the hottest team in hockey. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5, but 7 of 8 they've won. Currently now in first place in the Metropolitan Division with 72 points. And Carolina. They whipped up on the a brigade member and I did a for fun bet for our favorite charity. I got to make a $10 donation to the Children's Hospital.
Riscotti get you?
I think it was Scotty. Yeah,
Anthony Riscotti. Yeah.
Yes, that's who it was. Yes.
Good.
So
okay.
we came in did a little for fun bet. And
shout out Riscotti. I like it.
Yeah. So he said he was going to donate $6 to my favorite charity, one for every penalty kill that the Carolina Hurricanes had in their game against the Bruins.
Wow. There we go.
I was like, oh, that's a nice little jab. I'll take that.
What a scheduling quirk, right? There's 1 game yesterday. There's 3 games today and 2 tomorrow.
Yep.
And then they're on an All-Star break. So there's only
how many teams have already gone? That's what the beautiful.
That's what I'm saying.
If I was on a team that's playing tomorrow, I'd be like, you know what, NHL?
Carolina has a back-to-back today and tomorrow.
That's so not fair.
You want to talk about a screw job right there?
Yeah,
that's giving you right to the donkey kick to the nuts. That
sucks.
I saw
the
that
Bruins
yesterday.
Tomorrow too.
They got Buffalo, who's playing really well.
It's Bruins. I was like, man, they got to play on the Wednesday before the All-Star break. That's not right.
Yeah, well,
that's no. The Bruins play the Maple Leafs tomorrow.
The Bruins play the Maple Leafs. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the Hurricanes.
Oh yeah,
the Hurricanes have a back-to-back. They play tonight
on the road
tomorrow on a short week of All-Star break.
A week.
Like I guess somebody had to do it, but like really?
Whoa. Well, not the back-to-back.
The Penguins haven't played since Saturday.
Wow, that's a vacation.
Right?
Big for
a
Crosby.
Whole week. Bye-bye.
That's huge for Crosby. He gets a week off.
I mean, there's the teams that didn't play. That's a lot of teams that didn't play.
The Penguins play next on. Oh, they don't even play right after the All-Star break. They don't even play on Monday. They don't play until.
Are there games Monday? There's no games Monday.
Yeah, there are. Somebody got a nice little.
No.
Somebody got a nice little package. The Penguins don't play. They're on the road at the Sharks on Tuesday, the 14th.
Damn, son. That's a nice
Holy
break.
crap.
Right
they play. Well, they last played. Hold on. Sorry.
The All-Star game is on Saturday the 4th. They have to play the 6th.
I skipped a week.
What are you doing?
Where are they? On Monday the 6th. Yeah, they play Monday the 6th, but not the Penguins.
Okay.
They play the 7th. They play at home against Colorado on the 7th.
Okay.
So they get 8 days off.
Not bad.
The hell's that?
Happens.
They didn't. No, they played Saturday, Dave.
That's what I said. The last game they played was Saturday.
Oh, they said Sunday.
No,
so they have
Saturday,
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Oh, somebody got a package. Somebody took care of the Penguins.
They're not the only ones.
There's
God,
a lot of
teams that have that.
Wow,
and Carolina got a back-to-back on a Tuesday, Thursday with a trip. Not even a back-to-back home. They got a trip.
Go to Europe for a week. I mean, my God, you can do a whole tour of Italy.
Konowinski thank you, Konowinski. He just came in and said the Hurricanes are off till the 11th. It's a 10-day break after that.
For them too?
Yeah.
Also, did everyone get 10 days?
Everybody gets a 10-day break, it looks like. The Wings last played Friday and don't play till the 7th. Clown MB3. So
does the NBA have that long of a break for their teams?
No.
10 days.
I mean, the NBA, that because the way they're taking off time, now they shouldn't. The NHL, at least, they made sure this is their rest period or something.
Mikey Austin is doing gifts during the show.
Is he? He's
Sending me
amazing.
pictures.
Kid's amazing.
Okay. So do you know much about the Cardinals broadcasting story?
What do you mean? Jack Buck?
Well,
Skip Carey?
no. Dan McLaughlin.
No.
So Dan McLaughlin's been the voice of the Cardinals on TV for over 20 years, 24 years.
So he took it from Jack Buck?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
So Dan was the voice of the Valley. Dan worked for Fox Sports Midwest at the time. Dan has a problem with alcohol. So Dan got a DUI about a decade ago.
Okay.
Dan got his second DUI about 3 years ago. And the team was pressured heavily to replace him. And the team said no. So he got like 9 lives.
Saved.
He should have been gone. Cardinals went to bat for him because remember, the Cardinals have had problems with players and DUIs, and they've had a big issue with drunk driving in their career. Things have really badly happened with players and whatnot for alcohol. So a lot of people in St. Louis are like, wait a minute, we're the home of Busch. It's Busch Stadium. Like we can't have a guy in the booth who's gotten 2 DUIs. They said yes. They let him back. Amazingly enough, they let him go. Guy got a 3rd DUI this year. 3. And finally, 3 strikes and they're out. And they're replacing him with Chip Carey.
Wow.
Which in baseball terms, I mean, this is Chip Carey. This is like long-standing Harry Carey. His grandfather was the voice of the Cardinals and the Cubs. Chip Carey's been the voice of the Braves at TBS. That's how I know him. He went and worked for TNT and TBS. Now he's the voice of the Cardinals.
Right. When Harry Carey, Skip Carey, Chip Carey. Skip was in the middle.
Yes.
In Atlanta.
Skip worked for.
Skip was the dad of Chip.
And, but Skip was also the Braves, right? And then Chip took care
of
Chip.
Yeah.
Took over Chip.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now Chip is the voice of the Cardinals.
Ship, by the way. Ship.
His name is
Chip Carey.
But his name is Chip.
You win the ship while we bring that shit up.
Fine.
Now.
His name is Chip, not Ship. Chip's his dad.
Chip. Right. Anyhow.
Chip, whatever.
So is this
it's interesting
in the Midwest? Is it a big deal?
Oh yeah. The voice of the Cardinals is a big deal. Hell yeah, this is the big story. Voice of the Cardinals. And Dan McLaughlin finally getting replaced after 24 years. I mean, it had to be done. Everybody was waiting. Like, is he really going to be left in? And now they get Chip Carey to agree to a deal and make the announcement that he's now the voice of the Cardinals. 3 DUIs. I mean, I feel for the guy. He's a good dude.
Is this a problem in general in the broadcasting world?
Sure.
Like, I see it a lot. Like
in sports.
Yeah.
Alcoholism is a problem in sports. Alcoholism it's a problem in general. It's
a problem in life for sure. Yeah. But like this, I mean, with the kids driving now, I mean, it's always been a problem. I mean, I was 17 years old and a kid that sat in front of me in high school got in a drunk driving accident, sat in front of me in homeroom the first week of our senior year. He was there on a Thursday and he was gone on a Friday.
How about
woke me the fuck up.
A kid, how about this story? So 4 hockey players, best friends, driving, coming home from a Dave Matthews concert, falls asleep, kid driving, crashes the car into a pole. All 4 of them are going to go play on hockey scholarships. 2 of them are goaltenders. 2 of them in the back are forwards. Kills the kid, kills his best friend. Drove into a pole. He lives. All 3 lives. He lives. He goes to jail. Driver goes to jail. 18 years old. Seniors in high school. It's like
that's almost the car that there were 4 guys that I knew in the car, and he's the only one that died, and it was devastating. It was just devastating. So like drunk driving really, again, there's so many things that I say like or do or like and think you have to be scared straight. It's one of those things I just, as a grown person, you cannot accept. I can't accept the drunk driving. Like once
I can do one. I can
accept
it once. I can accept it if it happens. It's a mistake. It's a one-time thing.
That's fine.
And you have to pay you can never ever happen again. It can never for your life. Like that's it. It's your one. And it's hopefully it's not an accident that causes that one time. It's just you get pulled over, you blow a red light, you don't stop at a stop sign or something that you end up getting pulled over for and
Right.
arrested for a DUI. But in this town, I mean, that's the problem. That's why our insurance rates are so high here.
I moved here from Arizona, man. They take you right to that tent city. Like if you
In
do
Arizona,
it,
there's no joke.
it is zero joke. I mean, and they scare you straight. I mean, that scares a lot of people straight. It's a sad. I mean, that's you feel bad. A guy had to lose his job and all that over it. I did not know the story, but yeah, the drunk driving thing hits you. I mean, it hits me in a place now. I mean, I got kids driving all the time. Kylie drives 30 miles to and from school, 30 miles each way about every day. My wife's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, Jess, I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about everybody else.
Right. That's the problem. It's worried about everyone else.
Yeah.
So do we want the A's here, speaking of Las Vegas? Do you want the A's here? Because it's looking more and more and more and more likely that the A's are coming here.
Think so?
I mean,
I got all the gear.
It looks like it. I mean, so the
I'm
new
all
governor
for it.
here in town, Joe Lombardo, initially had made a comment that no public money was going to be used, but he had to backtrack it and then come out and say no new public money will be used if there is a current grant available.
What does that mean? So there
Well,
is
basically,
public money that's going to be used.
Correct. But it's already on the books, earmarked for certain projects like building a stadium for the A's. So they would get involved in that capacity. They're not going to do what they did for the Raiders, which was add a room tax that would pay for the stadium. They're going to use they're going to use actual things on the books right now, which Lombardo's whole thing when he ran was, I'm not going to be like the previous governor. I'm not going to add or raise taxes. Now he sees the A's and the potential of having a legacy because he now knows what the previous governor has for the Raiders and all the stuff he did to get the Raiders to come here and the Golden Knights to come here. Now he wants his team. So it looks like they're done in Oakland. They got nothing. That project is dead.
Really?
It looks that way. Yeah. That they voted it down.
Baseball's still, I mean, we've talked about this. It's going to be a hard sell here.
Oh,
that's a lot of games. I mean, you see the dip in the Golden Knights is already happening.
Significant dip in the Golden Knights.
Yeah, and it ain't going to take long for the Raiders either. They're going to build this up and keep it going for the Super Bowl and stuff. But another year or two of bad just losses and all this other stuff, it'd still be a destination. And there's only 8 games.
Right, makes it easier.
The churn of the hockey and the basketball is hard enough. The baseball's times 100. It's only double the games, but it's a lot.
Doesn't it feel a little bit like gambling, like the legalization gambling?
Yeah.
Where like the rush is so like go, 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 go. And then after like 5 or 6 years, it's like, hey, we kind of warned you. Like the population's only 3.1 million people. People are going to come here, sure, but like be careful. Like, be careful. And I mean, the Golden Knights have been really good, and I think people are going to go to the Golden Knights. I'm happy. I think it's coming down to more of a median, more of a normal rate. Because for the longest time, for the first 3 or 4 years here,
so expensive.
It was 6 to 7 times face to go to a game.
So expensive.
It was dumb. It wasn't logical.
And hockey tickets are expensive. I mean, like in basketball, tickets will be expensive if we get a team here.
I do not want the A's here.
You don't want the A's here?
I want NBA basketball, and that's it. If you're going to add anything else,
Frank
put the
Chunk
NBA.
said we could add it to the B's and C's parlay, and we'd have the ABCs.
Oh, that's great.
A's and the B's and the C's. To the Chef Benny parlay. Put that in the Discord.
But the A's don't win very often, so maybe you fade them and bet against them. Because that's the problem. They suck.
Address, by the way, can we say the Discord address to put?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. All right.
Tomorrow, hopefully we'll have it done today. So Cal and I are doing it today.
All right. Good. Okay.
But I think there's a real fear here because the A's are bad. The Raiders are football. It's like, I didn't care who they were because it was football. It didn't matter. If build a stadium, we get big concerts, we get big events, and we get the Super Bowl, which we're getting next year. So like, it made total sense as to why. I don't care who the NFL team was. Just get a team.
Right.
You can't do that with baseball.
No.
Baseball, if you suck, why are people in Oakland not going? The ballpark sucks and the A's suck. Okay, so the ballpark will be brand new and
The
nice. So
A's have been competitive and still not drawn until the end.
yeah, to the end. I mean, people, I don't know. Look, I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan. I'll go to 6 games a year. I'll go watch the Red Sox for sure. I'll be jacked up to go and see it. But I just don't think like people on a Wednesday night are going to, in Henderson are going to be like, yeah, let's drive to the strip, fight the traffic, go to the game, wait 3.5 hours for the game to conclude, and then fight traffic on the way home. It's a 5 hour, 6 hour day to go to a baseball game.
This is part of the problem, period, everywhere. There's enough people in these other places with established markets of good teams that you can do that you get your off nights 27,000.
Well, you also
No,
go, the other
in a
thing
big
is like in
stadium.
Chicago, in Boston, in New York, in Philadelphia, there's public transportation that goes right to the park. So you have
Yes.
big population sites and you don't have to drive. So you just go, hey, if I'm living in Boston, I might live in like the Back Bay, or I live I live out by Fenway or not, I live by like Boston College or whatever. Like I can take a 15-minute T ride to the game, go to the game, leave in the 7th inning and be home in 15, 20 minutes. It's not going to happen here.
I never really did that. I mean, in Pittsburgh growing up, we had a better parking spot than Mario Lemieux due to my dad. We
Right.
literally parked like almost in the locker room. So we had a guy and we were in and out. Went to the Pirate games, same thing. We always had a
Right.
guy in Pittsburgh. We always parked close, but we always drove. Then I moved to Phoenix. We always drove. Moved here, always drove. Even when I take the kids on these ballpark tours, like when we go to San Diego or go to LA or Anaheim, we drive everywhere.
Right.
We took the bus to the Knights game here. I'll never drive a game again. It made the night even more enjoyable because I didn't have to pay to park and I didn't have to drive.
Yeah.
We could go. We took the bus, the express lane. We were there in 12 minutes, maybe 15. They're running after the game. The game ended. 3 stars announced. I said, let's go. We got on the bus and we were home in 20 minutes in my house.
That's good.
It was awesome.
Need more of that.
I would do that all the time. You're right. But that ain't going to happen. I don't want to fight the strip. I don't want to.
No,
Where are they going to build a ballpark?
Tropicana.
In the 15?
They're going to blow up Tropicana and build it there.
They're going to blow up the Tropicana Hotel.
Yes.
They should do that anyway.
Yep.
That thing.
Yep.
That thing, if you hadn't been there recently, I was just
boy.
in there about a month ago because sneaky parking, and I just went in just to see the book because we had that book back in the day.
Right.
In fact, the tennis pro who I posted a picture of, he was there running that place. It has a smell from like 1972.
It'll look too. 1972.
It was modern back then. You're right.
Yep. Oh yeah. So that's the proposed idea is that the owners of the Tropicana will sell that land to either the state or the A's. They will demo it and they'll build the ballpark there to create the biggest, most hellacious intersection in the state of Nevada by far.
Bad idea. Who in the hell is going to drive down there? I'll never want to go down there again.
You need infrastructure on infrastructure. MGM, for those of you who don't know where Tropicana is, it's across the street from MGM Grand.
Right.
So that intersection.
Oh,
New York, T-Mobile. And then on the nights you have a hockey game and a baseball game at the same time.
Oh,
good luck. Have fun.
That's diagonally across the street from each other.
Baseball throw almost. I mean, it's not that far away. It's kind of like how Philadelphia has it. Difference is they've got it tucked away from the main part of the city.
And they have parking for
and
miles.
They have public transportation.
And they have that too.
A train that goes right there. So
this is bad. It's a
bad.
I don't like any of that.
Time for Better to Book It.
Let's go. Bam, 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 bam.
So we're going to end just the picks, which I'll talk more about here in a second, with a gift parlay. LA Kings 7 straight to a yes goal in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
Washington Capitals 4 in a row to a yes parlay. You can get a plus 168.
Send them off with a winner. Go. Bet it.
You like it?
Why not?
You like the under in Carolina, though.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to get you.
But 7 straight for the LA Kings,
That's the one
giving
that's
up a
going
goal
to get
or
you.
scoring a goal.
That's the one that's going to get you. But I think
Washington, Columbus.
you got a shot. Yeah, Washington,
We'll see.
Columbus are scoring a goal. A gift.
Sports Grid, thank you for being here, guys. We appreciate it. We'll continue with the
Right
rest
now?
of better to book it. Ferris saying says goodbye. We'll be back
says
tomorrow on
good.
Sports Grid, same place, same time, midnight Eastern time. YouTube and Twitter don't move more with BVB. So we go Capitals, Blue Jackets over 6.5 goals. Betting it or booking it?
Bet it.
Bet it.
Yeah, this game's going over.
I like
Yeah,
this
Blue
game to go
Jackets
over.
give up the goals. I say bet it.
They do. 5-2. Last time this team played in Columbus was a 5-2 final for the Capitals. I lean towards the puck line in this, but Columbus hasn't been that bad, and Washington's only okay on the puck line. So it's
Yeah. Not
To-
crazy
to-
about laying that
to-
fucking
little.
half.
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
only plus 118 if you want the plus money on the Capitals on the puck line. So it's
ain't enough.
yeah, it's not enough. I was kind of like,
No.
no. I think they probably do it. I need 4 goals from the Capitals minimum, but it could be a 4-3 final. So
Right.
and that would burn, and that burns me. So I'd rather play the over on that. And Darcy Kemper's goals against average on the road is higher than at home. Not much higher, but it's still higher than at home. And then finally, we are going with the puck line for Ottawa against Montreal at plus 140.
Just not picking no NBA games, huh?
Oh God, no. God, I told you.
I
said
know.
you'd be
Shit
betting
on the NHL.
No, I'm not.
We've become a hockey show. I love it. But
the NBA
I
is
was-
just not fun. I mean, anybody betting NBA basketball will 100% understand if you bet basketball every night.
Yeah.
College basketball. Look what happened last night in college basketball. You want me to go back to college basketball?
Oh.
I mean, I just literally got my balls cut off and handed to me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going back to college basketball tonight. No way. I got obviously a lot more viewing and I got to go analyze a lot more plays. Not for a while.
Stop analyzing. Just say Chicago State. That's all we're doing. That's all we needed. Ottawa puck line.
Yes. Taking the plus 140 flyer.
We're booking this. This is no. We're not doing this. Definitely not.
I need one of the 2 plus money bets to come.
Rommel Camp wants to know about the Laker line.
Why? Who cares? It's 1.5. We talked about it earlier. Brommel Camp. It was on the rundown.
Brommel Camp's don't be on a Brommel Camp. He's all right. What's up with the Knicks line tonight, Todd?
Why? It's 1.5.
Yeah. They're going to keep betting the Lakers, because LeBron and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Bet the LeBron props over.
There you go. That's it.
Okay,
Points
that's
LeBron
the best
over.
bet.
That's it. Yes.
You want to get aggravated, you bet the Lakers. If you want to win, you bet the Knicks. We'll go with that route. But you're going to get aggravated because if you bet the Knicks and they lose, you're going to be like, Dave, you said to bet the Knicks.
What is LeBron's prop? 35, 33? What is it?
I guess it's probably, he didn't play last night, so he's rested, which is good. 31.5 or 28.5. What is it?
28.5.
Okay. It's
20. Yeah. I bet the over.
At home, it's 31.5.
Bet over 28.5 points, LeBron tonight. That's the play. Favorite thing about today is what?
2 things. One, I went to see the tennis pro, Keith. And
how is Keith?
Keith is good. Keith is all right. He's like got an empty nest with the old. He had one daughter. He's away at school, so he's immersed himself in teaching tennis. Nice. And he misses the book, but he doesn't. It was a brief discussion, but it was fun. He was like, "What are you doing here?" And I delivered him that Cleveland Browns beanie because as you're going around getting this stuff like I do, I'm constantly looking for deals, just like I do in the book, always looking for things at good prices. Guess what was available at a very, very, very cheap price?
Shocking.
A Cleveland Browns beanie. See, I got the Eagles one. This is nice.
That's
the
gorgeous.
Cleveland Browns one, that color. Listen, JC from KC and the rest of you that are in Cleveland watching it, them colors are ugly. Okay? They're ugly.
Really? I disagree.
You like the elf?
I hate the elf. You know, I
Oh,
hate the elf.
whoa.
I hate the elf. The elf looks ridiculous. The elf at the 50-yard line was also ridiculous. But I think the Browns orange. I like that color.
The Browns orange is not bad.
It stands out. I like it. It's kind of
I
like the Flyers. I like the Flyers orange. I like the Browns orange.
I like the Flyers orange when they're winning. When they're losing, I can't wait to just,
Why?
you know.
What difference does that
So,
make?
like, well, no, because like when the Browns, I feel bad for them. When Pittsburgh beat them all the time for so many years and stuff.
Right?
So it's a little bit of mercy. If they get good again, I'll ride. I mean, I
I
look
like
good
I
anyway.
like the uniform. Win or lose, I like the Browns orange. I like that color orange. Fluorescent pop orange. I like.
Right.
Looks
Rich,
nice.
what? Just popped in the chat late, but I just like to say it because he says he likes the way I say it. My second favorite thing about today is that I tweeted it very, very early this morning. But these things that I follow, they pop the music into my feed now. Like I start to see these videos of people in
Do you know what
44.
you started, by the way, with that?
What
So
do I
the brigade now is requiring a Discord channel for BVB music because of what you've been doing.
Hell yeah! Who's the DJ of that?
Can be you if you want it, but that was a
my God.
Richmond request we were going through when we were talking about moving to the new Discord channel from the props Discord channel over to ours BVB one. He said, "Can we do a music channel?" And SoCal DJ said, "Sure." And he made up. We have an actual music channel now where
I'm
you
gonna
can go
have to put
post.
the shit on my phone. I'm gonna get a divorce though. I mean, it just,
Why? It
if
takes
I'm
2
on my
seconds.
phone more, oh no. Do you understand? I have that person that like I'll get over the top and always be
No,
trying to work. Like there's
no.
sometimes I got to decompress.
Yeah,
That's
you
why I
got
have
to
not
shut the
put the
phone off then.
Discord
But
up.
like the Discord channel it's fun because it's our people. It's no Twitter is everybody. Twitter is the world.
Right.
The Discord channel is just us. It's our people. So they'll
I
get the
understand.
jokes. You don't have to explain anything. They'll understand the references and whatnot.
They're good at the jokes too. I mean, the stuff they
Yep.
send is just
So
amazing.
you
We
so
put the
starting
JC from the KC, put me on Mahomes, my face on Mahomes. They put it on Sports Grid yesterday. They're going to run it in a commercial.
are they really?
They went
Wow.
nuts. They loved it. Yeah, they
That's
put it
cool.
all over the place. They're like, so I
Very
said,
cool.
this is great. But the car wash, the
Mm.
the song "Working at the Car Wash"
Okay.
came up 1976. It's
Jeez.
a classic. Now it's a classic because my dad used to say the car wash was something else, like a
Right.
title fight. He'd
Okay,
say the
yep.
car wash, right? So I got a soft spot for that song. It always reminds me of things. But if you change the words to working at the car wash to
Okay.
working at the sports book, just listen to this lyric that I wrote down for the best thing about today.
Uh-huh.
You might not ever get rich, but let me tell you, it's better than digging a ditch.
Fair.
There ain't no telling who you might meet, a movie star or maybe even an Indian chief. Let me tell you, it's always it's always cool, and the boss don't mind sometimes if you play the fool. Sing it with feeling, y'all. Working at the sports book. Instead of working at the car wash. I used to walk into work singing this all the time.
So good. Working at the
It's
sports
so
book?
good. You go and Google the lyrics to work at the car wash, the song, and
Yep.
it's working at the sports book. There's so many things in there. Just change 2 words. Made my whole damn day. Best thing about today.
That's phenomenal. So my favorite thing about today, about a week ago, Madeline, as I talked about before, she's getting older. So
Uh-oh.
she says to me,
she didn't start that thing, did she?
no.
Oh,
No.
they got me the
Please
other
don't.
night. They told me
Please
that for her birthday they started. I said,
No.
"Oh,
Please
not
don't.
ready for that."
I'm on 1 of 1, so I'm not going to experience that very well. That's going to be a traumatic
You
deal
better
for
know
me.
what to do if it's on your
I-
turn, if it's on your week. Call me.
Yeah,
I'll send the girls right
luckily I know, unfortunately, but it's just anyways.
over.
She said, "Do you have to do the podcast every single night?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Do you ever just not do the podcast?" I said, "Madeline, the only time I haven't done the podcast is when I've been in the hospital with Mr. Dave. That's it."
2 times.
So that's time. I go, and one time I did do it from the hospital, but 2 times I didn't do it because in the
I wouldn't
hospital I
let you
didn't do it.
You were gonna
And so-
do it. I wouldn't let
Yep.
you do it.
So July 2020, every single day, recorded a podcast. It's July 7th of 2020. Only time I didn't do it was either I was deathly sick one day and then in the hospital 2 others. Tonight, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 nights, I will not be hosting a Daily Picks podcast. I can't say where I'm going yet. That's coming. There's going to be a Daily Picks podcast, but I cannot talk about it later. My favorite thing about today is when I told her this morning that I'm not doing the podcast today, and she literally started jumping up on the bed. She was so excited that I didn't have to work. She was so psyched. She's like, not tonight. I'm like, no. She's like, what are we going to do? Can we go out? Can we go to dinner? What can we do? It's like, I don't know, Madeline. I was like, but I don't have to bet tonight. I don't have to do breakdown tonight. I don't have my computer tonight. I don't have to watch a game tonight, although I made bets. It was cool. It was really fun to see her reaction that I get a 3-day break, a 3-day weekend, whatever you want to call it, and it starts back up on Friday. It was, everything gets going, but for at least a couple of days, I got a break. So that my favorite thing about today was just watching the kids' reaction to like, hey, by the way, I'm not going to work tonight. I hopefully will make an announcement tomorrow. I don't know. We got to wait and see if the video is going to be done or not. We shot a video to make this announcement and what's coming up. So my Twitter account will have something on it. If not tomorrow, maybe Thursday, but I got to wait to get the whole permission conversation. But it helps BVB because it takes me off the table for some things and lets me focus strictly on this. And so it's a good move. We talked about it last night on Just the Picks a little bit. But be watching for it. Well, I'm back. I'm not going away. I'm not changing. It's just location will be different from where the Picks podcast is going to be. So more on that later in the week. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Hopefully you guys will be back. Subscribe, please. Follow at Boston versus the book. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have the debut of our Discord channel rolling out.
Music.
You guys can come. Music channel for Dave. He's Dave for Farah. I'm Matt.